Hello, my friends. It's your pal Frank. Having a terrible hair day. Jesus Christ. But let's talk about last night's election, shall we? Yes, we shall, because I say so. It's my channel, goddammit. Even though I only have 5 subs. But that's okay. So what happened? Well, Canadians proved once again that they are idiots and they don't care. They don't care about ethics. They don't care about anything. They just want. So, the Liberals, they won a minority government. They lost a bunch of seats, which is a good thing. The Conservatives won a bunch of seats, which is a good thing. NDP took a beating. They finished 4th behind the Bloc because they don't have a great leader like they used to in Jack Layton. And I am not an NDP supporter, but he was a good leader for that party. Now, my major question for Canadians is this. What does it take to sway your voting habits? Because I'm not sure if you are up on the times, if you realize it, or if you just don't care. But you re-elected a man that has 4 ethics convictions against him. Only man ever. You re-elected a man that went in blackface multiple times, blamed his white privilege on it. You blamed a fake feminist that has proven to be a sexist. You re-elected a guy that's more concerned with global warming, with helping the global community, than he is Canadians. For instance, do you know how hard it is for Canadians to find doctors? And yet this guy's sending aid to other countries. He's a hypocrite. So why? Why would you vote for somebody like that? Can't be his hair. Can't be that he's good looking, because if that were the case, I'd be fucking Prime Minister. I think I have an idea. See, you lefties, there's a couple of things about you. One, you want to appear tolerant. It's very important to you. Even though you just voted the most intolerant guy we have. But you also want free shit. So Trudeau won basically because of, I would say, Toronto, Ontario, Quebec, and the Atlantic provinces. Now, the Atlantic provinces, well, yeah, gee, they would definitely vote for Trudeau, seeing as how, you know, they love their welfare there, and part of the reason they're even in this country is because they were promised certain benefits when it comes to welfare. So they'll always vote Liberal. Ontario disgusts me the most. Ontario, now I don't know if this is still the case, but I think it is. Ontario is the sub-sovereign state with the most debt in the world. Last time I checked, we had more debt than California. We voted in the Conservatives here because we were tired of all the debt, all the redundancies, all the bullshit. And you guys are mad at the Ontario Premier, Mr. Ford, because of cuts and the things he's doing. But when you have to do these things, because when you have a Liberal government for the better part of 15 years destroying a province, you need to make changes, and that means tightening your belt. And it sucks, but that's the fucking breaks, people. So now you had, I would say, an epiphany a year or so ago, and then you go right back to voting Liberal. And here's the issue. Another issue. There's many. But here's one of the issues. this is why Trudeau wants to bring in 350,000 immigrants a year, because he wants them to vote for them. And you see, they get our free health care, right? So if you are an immigrant and your country isn't that great, you're going to go to a country that has free health care. Canada's saying, come on in. And then Trudeau also made a rule where you can vote essentially right away, whereas it used to be you had to be here 5 years. That's out the window. So now he can bring in as many people as he wants. And we're talking about 10% of our population a year that he wants to bring in. These damn cigarettes just go out on their own. I hate them. It's all about keeping the power. But let me tell you something. That's a minority government. The Conservatives actually got the popular vote. Now, we're not going to pull a Democratic Party and cry about the popular vote, but I will say this. Having the popular vote shows you that Conservatives are pissed. There's plenty of us, okay? And the big problem is there are the Liberals, lefties, the NDP, lefties, communists, the Greens, lefties, fucking eco-terrorists if you ask me, and the Bloc, socialist separatists, and one conservative party. So it's always an uphill battle for us. However, we do lead the majority opposition. So that means Trudeau can't just do whatever the hell he wants. There's checks and balances now. And Scheer, yeah, he's not the greatest leader, but he does love to dig at Trudeau. It's like his passion in life, which surprised me because he didn't do enough of it during the campaign. Maxime Bernier lost his seat. Why? Well, partially because of the media, partially because of the other parties, and a lot to do with Andrew Scheer. He hired a former Liberal, basically a smear merchant, and they painted Bernier as a racist and all this. And it just goes to show you how afraid Scheer was of vote splitting. But all in all, a minority government is not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world would have been a majority. And thank God we don't have one. But I ask again, what does it take? What does it take to get rid of a man as corrupt as Justin Trudeau? You know, Canadians, the left, hates Donald Trump. They accuse him, and this goes for Americans, accuse him of all these wrongdoings. And everything they accuse him of, Trudeau is. You call Trump a racist. Trudeau's a racist. Call Trump a sexist. Trudeau is an actual sexist. You call Trump corrupt. Trudeau is corrupt. This is not opinion, people. These are facts. And it's disgusting that you don't care. Because if you don't care about that, then you don't care about this fucking country. You don't care how much damage is being done. You don't care about the fact that our budget won't be balanced until 2045 or so. And you certainly don't care that within 25 years or so, or maybe 20 even, that 7 out of every 10 people in Canadian cities will no longer be natural-born Canadians. That's the plan, you see. They're trying to bring in as many people as they can to replace us. And this isn't a race thing, okay? I don't care. I truly believe people deserve a fair shake in life. I believe that. However, this country can't handle the amount of people they're trying to bring in. 90% of Canadians live within a 200-mile distance from the U.S. border. Okay? Because the rest of it's too fucking cold. So, you bring in 350,000 people a year, then the population density is just going to become insane. Insane. And you already see that in cities like Vancouver and Toronto. You go to Toronto, it's the worst. It's one of the worst places to go. You can't drive. Everybody's at each other's fucking throats, right? The majority of Toronto aren't even white, and it's one of the oldest cities in the country. Okay, it used to be the capital of Upper Canada, which was Ontario, or which is Ontario. Y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up. Y'all proved that you don't care. You don't care about this country. You care about yourselves. And a lot of this has to do, and this goes to the media, because the media, it was the Conservatives and the People's Party of Canada versus the other parties, plus the media. Because the media wants the money too. Trudeau's promised money to the media in Canada. So he's buying the media. So no wonder they want him to win. People want to be able to get on the government teat. And that's something the Liberals love to promise. But Trudeau's not even somebody that keeps his promises anyway. You know, he promised election reform. Didn't happen. You know, they talk about global warming, as much as I think it's a fucking joke. But he did say he was going to hit certain guidelines. He didn't even try. He's going to put this country back 50 fucking years. Okay? And I say this many times. Americans, don't let it happen. Don't let it happen to your country, man. I'm telling you now, if you vote Democrat next year, you'll start down the path that we already jumped down. You will follow Alice down that rabbit hole. Unfortunately, we're Alice, and we're at the bottom of that fucking rabbit hole. You don't want to be there with us, believe me. You guys have great unemployment. We have shit unemployment. You have great industry. We don't. And Trudeau is fine with it. You know, in Canada, the very best thing you can do is work for the government. It's not an entrepreneur-friendly country. That's why you see guys like Crowder, even Gavin McInnes, if you don't like him, I love him, but you see a lot of Canadians go to the States because it is business-friendly. Up here it isn't. Like Vice, for instance. They suck now. They didn't always, but they started in Montreal, and they moved to the States because not only is it a bigger market, but it's hard to run a company in a socialist country. For fuck's sakes, the government controls our beer stores. We have to go to government-issued beer stores and liquor stores. I know I'm ranting. I get it. I'm sorry. But last night was very disappointing. I'm disappointed in Canadians. They're not all Canadians, because like I said, the Conservatives did get the popular vote, but at the same time, voter turnout was down from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it was over 63 or 68%. We barely touched 50% this time around because people don't care. And I know a lot of people that went and basically voted, but voted for no one. Because all of the leaders suck. But the problem is the leader of the country is the worst of them. So, hopefully, Trudeau continues to be an asshole and fuck up, and the opposition has a no confidence vote, and there's a new election. Won't be anytime soon, but I very, very much doubt that we will get 4 years out of this government. So, congratulations, Liberals, I guess. You lied and cheated your way to another election win. But it won't last long. You've pissed people off. The Conservatives are pissed. Fuck it, we're at a point where Saskatchewan and Alberta want to leave the country because all these special little programs that the Liberals give to the provinces, it comes from those two provinces because they're the big money makers. It doesn't come from Ontario. We're in so much debt, it's ridiculous, right? Like Atlantic Canada and all their we'll call it welfare benefits, the benefit of having welfare benefits, that mainly comes from Alberta, and they're getting tired of it. And during election time, when they overwhelmingly vote Conservative, it seems as though their vote doesn't matter. Can't say I blame them. So there's talk that they want to leave. Quebec wants to leave. There's a problem when multiple provinces in your country want to leave it. So Justin Trudeau, maybe do the right thing. Try to be a good prime minister. Try to not just create benefits for who you think will vote for you, but for all Canadians. Because you haven't been doing that. Anyway, that's it. That's my rant. I got shit to do. It's a sad day. But it could have been worse. Oh, hey, Justin, go fuck yourself. All right. Bye.